What's up, everyone? This is Ronnie. I'm just coming to you with a little sales update video. I'll try to keep it to about 30 minutes. Maybe it'll be a little less. But, just talking about it. We had a pretty decent month. We did about 20% better than June. We're still down from last year, but not bad. Haven't really put in the time all that much. So been having a lot of other things I've been working on, including Amazon and doing a lot of other little side things. Really trying to push to get a house here. So we'll know in the next few months if that's going to be possible. So working on everything to get that done. And it's a little harder when you work for yourself. But with that being said, you don't want to hear me psycho babble about nothing. We'll get into what you come to watch this video for. So I picked out 30 things that we sold, little different things. I skipped a lot of things. I'll show some other things. These are just some things that you could find, some things that you may come across. But I'll do a screen share and get into this puppy. All right, there we go. First thing, we picked up these little Sony voice recorders. Usually find these real cheap. We paid $1 each for these. Wife found these at a sale. We got this one, and we had this. Oh no, wait, hold on. We had this one and this one right here. They both sold for full price. This one had a little wear, but they both worked very well. Paid $1 each, and they sold both within a day of listing, as you see right here, for $23.99. Not huge profit makers, but when you buy it for $1, you know you're going to return it. I mean, made about $15 profit. Not bad. I mean, easy to list. I mean, I could have sent these to Amazon, but I really didn't think they were in condition to send to Amazon. They had their little quirks, so I'll leave it at that. But some of these can be worth real good money, and if you find them new sealed, sometimes I've sold some for $300 before, and there's some that even go higher. But you got to check the model numbers. They all have model numbers on them. Easy to tell right there. Look it up on your phone or punch into Amazon and see. And if it's new, just scan the barcode with the Amazon Sellers app, and you're good to go. There's a tie we found. I found a bunch of Ted Baker ties not too long ago. I paid a little more than I would like to for these, but these are all more recent, newer ties. I probably paid $3.50 on average for them. I got 9 of them, and we sold one almost instantly within a day or two of listing it. I got full price for this, $39.99 plus $3 to ship, and it was a really nice design. Most of these are. The ones that we picked up had really nice designs to them. They're more of a thicker silk tie. Really well. Ties can be long tail, but this one tie will pay for all the ties I got now, and everything else is profit. So, if I sell one a month for the next 9 months, I'll be happy. I'm fine with that. Ties take up very little space. We have this little plastic 3-drawer thing that we got out of a yard sale, and I roll them up kind of like this picture right here and keep them in there so they don't crease or anything like that. Here was a Game Boy Color that we picked up. It worked. We got this in a Nintendo 64, and this picked up, I mean, we paid $20 for this and the Nintendo 64. Had 2 controllers, had the expansion pack and everything. We sold this within minutes of listing for $45 plus $6 shipping. Went to someone else that seems to sell these refurbished. This was actually in really good condition. There was really no issues with this thing at all. I mean, see the battery pack and everything. Always make sure we get a picture of this working, so we kind of stay away from the people trying to tell you, hey, what happened there? This ain't working. I always send a picture, usually the first picture showing it's working, so we kind of avoid those issues. This was a Polaroid land camera SX70. We had this for a while. I think I paid 50 cents for this at a state sale. It was kind of, I mean, at a yard sale, really beat up. You see the case there was cracked and dry, the leather. You can buy those and replace those on eBay. I think they're like 20 bucks. But these really don't bring the money that they used to. I remember you used to get over $100 for these. But Impossible Project, I believe was the name of the company or something like that. They no longer buy this camera. So the market is kind of cooled down on it. I lowered the price from what I had. I untested. I didn't have, I couldn't get it to power up either. So I just sold it as untested. Or I couldn't find film. I don't remember why I put untested, but there was a reason why. And got about $42 for this, and it went to the global shipping program. Don't remember what country exactly it went to. But, you know, still 50 cents into $40 is really good. You'll see some of my listings had free shipping and some did not. I kind of messed around with free shipping in the early to the middle of the month, and I kind of did away with it. I got really, I think I tried it like the second week, and by the fourth week I was done with it. I didn't see any difference, and it seemed like my bottom line was going down. So I kind of kept the prices the same and just added shipping. Here was a, what do you want to call this? Scale model or metal die-cast car. It was new in box. Paid $5 for this at a antique store that went out of business. Picked up a few others. This was the last one sold. We got about $40 for this. Yeah, I mean, it took a few months to sell. I'd say 2-3 months, but it eventually sold. It was in box. Box was actually in really good condition. I mean, the plastic on the box, I mean, that plastic covering was a little dented up. I was probably going to send it into Amazon, but I didn't because of that reason. But still sold. Got shipping on it. I sent that FedEx just because of the size of it. And I went to California. We picked up a bunch of Orvis shirts. We picked up actually 5 new tagged Polo shirts. The wife found them. I think we paid $4 each for these. These were all new. We already sold 4 of the 5 and got between $40 and $50 for these. 2 people bought 2 each. Got them at an estate sale. We picked up 11 pieces of clothing at that estate sale, and we've actually sold 10 of the 11 pieces. So it was a really good estate sale when you sell the stuff exactly quick. Another good thing for this was 2X. Orvis is a brand that it's either hit or miss, and it's hit or miss because it's a brand because you can really only find the clothing either if you go to a store close to you or through mail order or through the website. It's not like you can walk into Macy's or walk into your Marshalls and find Orvis clothing. And it has a bit of a following. So, you know, these tags here were, I think they said $49. So I got pretty close to top-end retail for these. I would not pick these up as used because the polo shirts I just don't think would bring enough money that would work for me. This was a FootJoy shirt that we found, a golf shirt. We sell a lot of golf shirts, but this one stood out to me. As you see a lot of golf shirts, especially the FootJoy ones, they're all either 1 or 2 colored stripes or they're a solid color, and they're a dime a dozen. This one was just so different. Had stripes, solid. It was just a very different shirt. I got a lot of watches on this, a lot of views on this. I paid $5 for this, and this sold for full price of $49.99 and $4 to ship. So, you know, sometimes you price your stuff up depending on the design of the shirt, and you're not going to have any idea by doing a little research and figuring out that I've sold enough of these to know that this was a little different. This was a jacket. We've had this probably, I would say, 8 to 9 months. We found this. This is a Gina Versace men's blazer. It's part of a suit. I really don't think this is a really ugly jacket. It was made for Jason Taylor, who was a Jason Terry, the Jet basketball player. He played for Celtics. He played for Dallas. He played for a few other teams. Really kind of dated suit jacket. This is 5-button front. I mean, nobody really wears this anymore. See the tags over here. There's another one here. Let me see. Right there. We looked around and figured out that early 90s, these suits were, I mean, or late 90s, early 2000s, these suits were very popular. And just ugly. But it just depends. You could have something made for somebody that's famous, and it still might not sell for what you think it would, or there might not be much interest in it. I've sold a few stuff that was for celebrities, as I found some Vince McMahon sport coats. I found 3 in the past. I've sold them for $250 and $400. He's a well-known billionaire, basically, and has a following through the WWE. I found some dress slacks that were made from all Zegna brand, very high-end brand. People probably are willing to pay for that because they may wear it. They know how high quality of stuff it is. But I found Jason Terry stuff. This is an ugly jacket. No interest in it really, unless you're a diehard probably Jason Terry fan. And I found stuff for what was his name? He was a Jets quarterback. He went to Miami. Chad Pennington. We found some jackets of his and got about, I think we found 2 jackets and got about $100 or $150. They were a little older Zegna jackets. And the only reason we got the money for it is because they were actually, I think, like a 46 long or a 44 long. They were a little, or extra long. They were a little bit different outside the sizing, that we were able to get a premium, but probably not because of the name. This was a Nautica, just fleece jacket, orange fleece. I mean, we picked it up, we found it, head of the Charles Regatta. They have this yearly thing on the back, really nice jacket. I found some Brooks Brothers one in the past, and we've sold them upwards of about $100. This was a Nautica one. I priced it what I thought it would sell. It sold for about $50 or $51, and paid $5 for this. And I would say it took about 2 months to sell. This sold pretty quickly, had a lot of watchers, had a lot of views. Just a regular J. Crew, you know, plaid, wool, adjustable vest, waistcoat. I mean, nothing really too special, but there are some pieces by J. Crew that actually sell really well. When there's pieces that don't. This sold for right around $50. And I paid, I think, like $4 or $5 for that. So really good return. It probably sold within a few days, within a week for sure. Texture sentiment calculators. They are all so hit or miss. As some do better than others. We paid this one. We got it for $1. I knew it was gonna be money. It didn't have the case that usually comes with it, or the cover, I mean. I put that in the title. This sold within minutes of listing it for full price, $59. I always show a picture of the numbers and everything like that. Cleaned it, but there was still some water residue, I guess, left on the picture. But sold really quick. And sometimes that's just what you like. I mean, these little things like these texture suspense calculators or those Sony mini cassette recorders, you find these real cheap a lot of times at yard sales, estate sales, and so on and so forth, and they move fairly quickly. Picked up this ink. I've had this probably about 2 months. Lady had a whole bag of it. She told me $2 each. I kind of walked away. Then she goes, "What would you just give me for the bag?" I bought a few other things to her, and I just said, "How about $10?" And she just said, "Okay, no problem." These were new sealed, but I believe they were out of date. Actually, I couldn't find the expiration dates on them. They didn't have any that I could see. Some of them were out of the package, but still sealed in the little packages. I just sold them as a lot because most of these did not sell very well outside of, you know, a few dollars. And these sold for right around $60 or so. So not a bad return whatsoever. A pair of Orvis men's pants, new with tags. Picked these up. Paid about $7 for these, and just pair of pants. You know, nothing special. Brand new Orvis. Really weird moleskin. I have no idea what moleskin is. We've sold a few Orvis pants and even an Orvis suit jacket that's been a mole hair. It's actually cotton. It's like almost a heavier material, almost like a flannel or something. I don't know if people use these hunting or whatnot. But this sold fairly quickly, or not about a month, but that's fairly quickly, I would say, for clothing. And this sold for right around probably $55. For some reason, the prices are not showing the sales, so I'm going off the top of my head, as we do run sales anywhere from usually 5 to 10%, sometimes as high as 20%. These were a pair of Fry boots. These were in good condition, but they definitely had some wear. There was a little tear on them, but I paid only $2 for these. These sat around at somebody's yard sale for 2 days because it's the end of a Saturday, and this was a 2-day sale. So just shows you that not everybody knows everything. The little tear is right there. You can see it at the top of there. Somebody still wanted it. Plenty of wear on these shoes, but somebody liked the distressed look. These sold for right around $55, and just a nice, easy sale. I mean, these took a few weeks to sell. This is a vintage Ralph Lauren polo shirt, and this design right here is called a scribble. That little, I'll show you a better picture of it. And it's a wool sweater. I've had this for a little while, probably 6 months. Paid about $7 for it, and it sold full price. So we listed it, and it sold almost immediately. So really good. I mean, it was really weird color. It was like a maroon and blue, but it did sell eventually. Some Ralph Lauren stuff is so hit or miss, but when you find the vintage stuff, that's kind of where the money is, if it's the right style. This is a vintage Nike Windbreaker. I had this. I changed this relisting a few different times. I've had this probably, I would say, 9 months. Couldn't really find much information on the tags or anything. It had kind of a rainbow tag in the front. It was kind of like this, almost like a windbreaker. It was definitely a windbreaker, but different tag. I've never really seen that. Couldn't find a made in USA tag or anything like that. Or anything. It's definitely vintage. I had it priced all over the place. This sold for about $80, and this actually went to Japan. Searched and searched, and I seen probably that's where I was getting. I was asking more, but I paid $7 for this, and it was time to let it go when it sold. This was a figurine my wife picked up off of eBay. No, excuse me, off of Craigslist. Paid $15 for this, and it's a Jadro. I know I'm not saying it correctly. Jadro, something like that. But some of these pieces bring money, some do not. See the label right there. These are made in Spain. My wife has been on a real big kick lately of learning about different pieces of China and stuff like that. So this sold probably within a week or so. This is really excellent condition. No issues whatsoever. It looked like it was brand new. There was no wear to it whatsoever. I just did not have the box. And we shipped it and sold. Have not heard anything, so I'm guessing they got it in one piece. But you know, really nice return. Sometimes you can source for more avenues than just your thrift stores, yard sales. You know, use OfferUp, Craigslist, Let Go, and so on and so forth to look for stuff to resell. Here we go. Pair of Allen Edmonds. These are Fairhaven. You can find the name of the shoe on the Well, we might not have even a picture. Oh, there we go. See right there, a majority of the time there will be the name in the Allen Edmonds shoes, and you can search by that name to see, because not all Allen Edmonds sell well. Some sell extremely well and some do not. This was about going price for these. These were a decent size 10D. These sold within probably 3 or 4 days of listing it. These sold for around $75 plus 10 to ship. So really not bad. I have a few others that are listed and have been listed a few months. So you just never know when something's going to sell. Right here we have a Hickey Freeman collection. This is a woolen cashmere. If I remember right, it was 90-10. Cashmere or wool, and then cashmere was 10%. 50 regular. You're getting into a little larger suit jacket, and these are sport coats, and these sell a little better. You can ask a little bit better money for them also. We had this probably 3 weeks, I would say, and this sold for right around $80, I would say. There's the tag right there, nothing special. You can see right there, 50 regular. Wool and all that mumbo jumbo. Really decent looking herringbone, just black and gray herringbone, nothing special, but it's a nice classic jacket for someone that wants to wear it. And you know what? It's hard to find a 50 regular. Not as there's some other bigger sizes that take a little bit worse. This is a Southwick men's suit, 2-piece suit. That means it has the pants. You know, this is a regular size. I mean, eBay is flooded with 42 regular. I think I got this for like $5, and I've had it probably a few months. I mean, it's been listed probably at least 3-4 months. When you get into sport coats and suits, none of them really sell that quickly. Some will sell really fast, some will sit, but a majority of them will sit, and that's just what it is. I mean, if you want to get into that niche, it's more of a long tail niche, and you have to understand that. But there is money to be made. Southwick's a decent brand. See the tag right there, made in USA. You know, had the dual side vents right there. It's just a decent jacket. I mean, we got about 85 for that one, so that wasn't bad at all. Paid $5, like I said, and so on and so forth. This was a Dale in Norway sweater. We got this at the end of summer. No, end of spring, I would say. So we've had this a little while. What made it nice was it's a 2X. See the tag right there. On the back side it says the size. Really nice looking print to it and everything like that. A lot of times they'll have the different they'll be for Olympic Games and so on and so forth. This sold about $90, and we paid, I think, like, I don't know, whatever a sweater is, $5.50 or so at our local Goodwill, so not too bad at all. This was a Doc Martens. Got these. These looked like they were in brand new condition. A little smaller of a size, being a size 7. See right there. I mean, they look like they were never used. I mean, made in England. Sorry, they had the slip resistant shoes. You could always tell the Doc Martens by those gold stitching. We sold these probably in $95, and they were just really nice shoes. We paid $8 for those. And Doc Martens, for the most part, if they're a decent enough shoe, I will buy it. But the made in England ones sell a lot better than the made in China, and the boots do better than the regular shoes. I almost don't pick up the shoes anymore and just stick to the boots. I stay to the boots. We got this shirt. I had a estate sale with all those other Orvis newer tags polos. Paid $4 for this. And this was a Ryan Spooner shirt from 2002 for the Beach Boys. And I had some different scenes on it. See right there. You get into some of these Ryan Spooner shirts that are specifically made for like Disney, or I can't think of our sports teams. Some of them do really well. Some don't. Some do. You kind of have to take a risk sometimes. I took a risk on this. I took a very little risk, $4. You know there's going to be profit to be made on the end no matter what. This sold fairly quick. This sold probably within 2 weeks or so. And like I said, we got about $95 for this. So really not bad. I love that kind of profit. You know, Ryan Spooner shirts are so hit or miss, though. That's the thing. This was my first Robert Graham men's sport coat I ever found. Real nice summertime kind of jacket. It's cotton, very lightweight. See the tag there. This was a 46 regular. It's a little bigger size than normal. That lining actually is very loud. You see right there. But the jacket itself is not very special itself. I mean, it's very plain. This sold. We paid about $7 for this, and we sold it for about $95 or so. And this sold probably within a month. We picked this up when we went to New York, so on the way back actually. So it was not listed that long. This was a LL Bean. This is a huge duffel bag. Really nice duffel bag. Couldn't really get the pictures to come out really that well. Really excellent condition. It looked like it was never used. The people actually said they never used it, but I said we used it at least once. Sent this FedEx. This was actually 24 by 16 by 12, and I paid $10 for this, and it sold really quickly, right around $95, and I just shipped this FedEx, and off it went. A lot of these bigger things I'll send FedEx, or if they're going out west, you know, a lot of the larger stuff I send FedEx, and just easier to sell that way, or easier to send that way. As the United States Postal Service kind of gets a little expensive sometimes for these larger packages. These were a set of Lionel standard gauge. These are a larger gauge things. I picked these up at a flea market on the way back from Brimfield in May. So we've had these for a little while. I really, for whatever reason, thought these went for a little better money. I think these are something that we used to sell 10 years ago when I used to deal with a lot more Lionel stuff. The market was there on these pieces. They've kind of, I want to say, dipped down a little bit. The condition was not there on these either, but it's kind of more of a train wreck lot. You know, there's some rust to these, some damage. You see from the pictures, I gave more than enough pictures. See, like this one's kind of has some surface rust on it pretty well. I mean, someone's gonna want it, do whatever they want with it. But I paid $50 for them actually, and we sold them for about $110. So doubled my money, and that's not really what I like to do. But every once in a while, you have one of those doublers. But you know what? I'm not really that sad about it because I still made money. It's when the things that you lose money on that you're not thrilled about. We got this in Lee, Massachusetts. After going to see my parents, we stopped off over in Lee, and they actually have a little Goodwill store. It's the smallest Goodwill I've ever seen. This was a Sarah Bergman Harris tweed wool jacket. We actually paid $30 for this. This was a really nice jacket. I should have looked it up better. I thought it would have, because it was just a nice colors and everything to it. I thought it would have went for a lot more money than it did. You can see the tags. I mean, it looks like it was never been worn. I mean, just a beautiful jacket. And we've had this a little while, probably 6 months, but it sold in the middle of summer, July 5th to be exact. This sold for about $115 or so, so not too bad. And this one kind of fairly close by, so shipping did not really was not an issue with that one. And kind of our best sale for the month was this one. This sold at this sold for about 175. Started, off pretty well. It's this Polo shirt. I got this actually at a half off day at a Salvation Army for $3, and it was kind of had a pin in it still. You can tell it was new with tags. Still had the pin in it. Had parts of a tag on it, but I kind of took it off because I just thought it had a a Filene's Basement tag on it too. So, but I just thought it would be cheesy to keep that tag on it, so I took it off. And sold it new without tags. It was 100% silk shirt. These are about $600 retail. So I put it up for a decent price, and it took about a month to sell, but it sold really well. So, just love it when that stuff happens. So those are my more interesting sales for the month. I hope you liked the video. That's all I can say. I'm trying this month to kind of get back into the fold here and kind of push the envelope a little bit more with eBay. We just haven't been able to build up our inventory with all these other different projects we have going on. So, and I would love to go and get another warehouse space, but looking for a house, I kind of can't get into agreement with that because the bank doesn't want to see me spend too much more money. So I'm kind of like in a thing right now where I can't really do too much more listings than what we got due to the size of our house and what we have available for us at the moment. So, I'm slowly trying to build it up, but we got a lot of other things going on too. Outside of eBay, we make money about 5 or 6 different ways. So, and there's other ways that pay for all my bills outside of even eBay. So, if life is good, can't complain. But like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you later, everybody. Have a good week.